Raiders fans, we need to talk. I wish this was one of those upbeat moments where we celebrate a hard-fought win or some fresh spark of hope. But right now, that's not what this is. The Las Vegas Raiders have reached a breaking point, and the frustration inside Raider Nation is boiling over. After everything this fan base has been through, the coaching carousel, the empty promises, the rebuilds that never quite rebuild, we're still staring at the same mess. I thought firing Josh McDaniels meant the end of the circus, that moving on to a new era under Pete Carroll and his staff would finally stabilize things. But no, somehow it feels like the show just added another act. You can't sugarcoat what happened on Sunday. The Raiders went out there and embarrassed themselves on national television against their division rivals. A 31-0 shutout that felt even worse than the scoreline shows. It wasn't just a loss, it was a total collapse. You could see it in the body language, in the play calling, in the complete lack of fight. When a team rolls over like that, you could tell something deeper is broken. Either they've tuned out the head coach, or they've simply quit. And I don't say that lightly, but it's hard to come to any other conclusion. Let's be real. The Raiders looked lifeless. From the opening drive, there was no rhythm, no urgency, no identity. Kansas City was playing like it was a scrimmage, just marching down the field at will, doing whatever they wanted. Patrick Mahomes barely broke a sweat. The Chiefs' offense looked like a well-oiled machine, while the Raiders' offense looked like a car without an engine. Every possession ended the same way, punt after punt after punt. It was so bad that even the Chiefs seemed to feel sorry for them. By the third quarter, they were pulling starters and still outclassing Las Vegas in every single phase of the game. How do you come back from that kind of performance? How do you look at this coaching staff and think they have any answers left? Pete Carroll was supposed to bring leadership, experience, and a sense of direction. Instead, what we've seen is an outdated approach, a stubborn system, and a group of players who clearly aren't buying in. You look at this roster, the talent is there. Guys like Max Crosby, Trey Tucker, and Devontae Adams aren't the problem. But when your offense is stuck in neutral and your defense can't tackle a tackling dummy, that points straight to the top. Let's talk about the so-called offensive genius that was supposed to fix this unit. Chip Kelly, the highest-paid offensive coordinator in the league, has produced what might be the worst offense in football right now. It's not just bad, it's unwatchable. The Raiders didn't cross midfield until the second half. They finished with fewer than 100 passing yards and barely managed to get a first down every 10 minutes. There's no creativity, no adjustments, and no sense of urgency. This is the National Football League, not a college exhibition. And yet the Raiders look like a lower division team that accidentally got invited to play with the big boys. I've been following this team for years through the highs and lows, but I honestly can't remember a time when they looked this unprepared and disconnected. You can see it in their faces on the sidelines, frustration, confusion, and maybe even indifference. That's what scares me the most. Because once a team stops believing, once they stop fighting for each other, it's over. And that's exactly what this feels like. You can fire coordinators, shuffle depth charts, and call it retooling. But until leadership changes, until accountability becomes more than a buzzword, nothing is going to change. And let's be honest here. Pete Carroll is 74 years old. He's had an incredible career, but it's clear that this job is too much at this point. The game has evolved, and he hasn't evolved with it. Watching the Raiders' offense is like watching football from another era, one where running on third and long was considered smart. Teams across the league are innovating, adapting, finding new ways to win, and here we are running the same tired plays expecting a different result. The players know it. The fans know it. Everyone knows it except the people making the decisions. You can also feel the tension brewing inside that locker room. Reports of frustration have been surfacing for weeks, and the body language on the field confirms it. You don't need to be an insider to see that players are checked out. When your best linebacker like Jermaine Pratt is openly frustrated and your defensive unit looks like they'd rather be anywhere else, you've got a serious problem. The chemistry is gone. The unity is gone. And if there's one thing we've learned about football, it's that you can't fake effort. That brings me to Jacoby Myers, a player who's done everything right since day one, a guy who's always been professional and consistent. So when someone like him suddenly starts sitting out practices, you have to wonder what's really going on. They'll say it's a knee injury or a minor tweak, but come on. You can see the pattern. Once the trade rumors started swirling, he shut it down. And honestly, who can blame him? He's watched this organization implode from the inside. He's given everything. And in return, he's watching leadership drive the team straight into the ground. This isn't about one bad game or a rough stretch of the season. This is about culture. The Raiders used to be known for pride, for toughness, for taking the fight to their opponents no matter what. Now they look like a team without an identity, without a plan, and without a heartbeat. The fans show up week after week, hoping for a spark, and all they get is disappointment. You can only keep asking people to believe for so long before faith starts to fade. It's not just the losses, it's the way they're losing. Every so-called statement game has turned into a statement of failure. Against the Chiefs, against the Colts, against anyone who matters, this team shrinks under pressure. The defense gets gassed, the offense goes 3 and out, and by halftime, it's already over. You see the same patterns over and over again, and the coaching staff just keeps giving the same hollow speeches afterward. We'll get better. We'll fix it. We'll bounce back. But the truth is, there's no bounce left in this team. When you look at the numbers, they tell the story loud and clear. The Raiders rank near the bottom of the league in total offense, scoring, third down conversions, and time of possession. The defense can't get off the field, and the offense can't stay on it. You can't win games like that. And yet somehow, the message from the top remains the same. Stay patient, trust the process. Raider Nation has been patient for decades. Patience isn't the problem anymore. Leadership is. Right now, this isn't about playoff hopes or draft positions. It's about pride. It's about whether this team still has enough heart to show up and fight. Because if what we saw on Sunday is any indication, the players have already checked out, and that's on Pete Carroll and his staff. You can't motivate a locker room if they've stopped respecting you. You can't lead men when they've stopped listening. And from the outside looking in, it feels like that's exactly where we are. I'll say this one last time, Raider fans deserve better. They've stood by this franchise through relocation, rebuilds, heartbreak, and chaos. They've earned the right to expect effort, not excuses. They've earned the right to see a team that plays with pride. Right now, they're not getting any of that. And if things keep heading this direction, it's only a matter of time before even the most loyal fans start tuning out. Let's keep it real, Raider Nation. What we're watching right now is the slow unraveling of a team that's lost its soul. The body language says it all. You look at guys like Max Crosby, Geno Smith, or Ashton Gentry on the sidelines, and you can see it in their eyes. They're tired, not just physically, but mentally. There's only so much disappointment a player can take before he starts questioning what he's even fighting for. Every week, the same mistakes, the same lack of adjustments, the same tired post-game explanations. It's like watching a rerun that nobody asked to see again. And the worst part? The front office seems oblivious. They keep feeding us this line that Pete Carroll is safe no matter what happens this season. That's supposed to give us confidence? That's supposed to make anyone believe this team is on the right path? Let's be honest. If this was any other franchise, if this was any other coach, he'd already be packing up his office. You can't keep preaching accountability when there isn't any. The locker room sees it. The fans see it. Everyone can feel the disconnect growing. This isn't just about losing. It's about losing badly, consistently, and predictably. When you get blown out week after week, when your offense puts up fewer points than some high school teams, when your defense looks gassed before halftime, something fundamental is wrong. It's not about injuries or bad luck. It's about leadership that's run out of answers. Pete Carroll was once known for his energy, his fire, his ability to connect with players. But that spark is gone. The message isn't landing anymore. The players hear the same cliches and know deep down that nothing's going to change. You see it in the way they start games, flat, uninspired, almost like they're waiting for something to go wrong. And when it does, they fold. There's no urgency, no response, no pride. It's like they've accepted mediocrity as the standard. That's not Raider football. Raider football was built on toughness, on defiance, on never backing down no matter the odds. Now, it feels like this team has forgotten what that even means. The silver and black used to intimidate teams. Now, they're the ones being laughed at. And you know what hurts the most? It's that fans have seen this story before. They've lived it. The cycle is always the same. New coach, new promises, a little hope, and then the same old collapse. The fan base gets blamed for being impatient, but what else are they supposed to do? They've been patient for 20 years. They've been loyal through embarrassment after embarrassment. They're not asking for miracles, just competence. Just a team that looks like it actually wants to win. The locker room is clearly divided. You can sense the frustration boiling beneath the surface. When players start quietly sitting out practices, when leaders stop showing emotion on the field, that's not strategy. That's surrender. Jacoby Myers sitting out wasn't just about his body. It was a statement. A player that's done everything right doesn't suddenly tap out unless he's done believing in what's being sold. You can tell he's checked out mentally, and once one guy does it, others start thinking the same way. There's a saying in football, when you lose the locker room, you lose the season. The Raiders have lost both. This isn't speculation. You can see it in every snap, every missed tackle, every lifeless drive. The chemistry that was supposed to be building has completely evaporated. Instead of fighting together, they look like 11 guys just trying to get through the game without getting hurt. Meanwhile, Pete Carroll keeps talking about execution and staying the course. That might work for a team that's improving. But when you've gotten worse every single week, when your record looks like a train wreck and the product on the field is even uglier, those words start to sound hollow. There's no plan, no adjustments, just empty talk. And if we're being honest, that's probably the most frustrating part. Because Raider Nation isn't asking for perfection. They're asking for effort. They're asking for a team that looks like it cares as much as the fans do. What makes it sting even more is that the talent is there. You've got legitimate playmakers who could make a difference on any team in the league. But under this staff, they're regressing. You can almost see the confidence draining out of them week by week. Players who should be breaking out are disappearing. The schemes are predictable. The play calling is safe to the point of cowardice. And the creativity is non-existent. Watching the Raiders' offense right now is like watching a time capsule from a decade ago. Everything about it screams outdated. And now we're staring down a bye week that feels less like a break and more like a funeral pause. What's there to regroup for when the direction is this unclear? Everyone knows that after the bye, the Raiders are walking into the same problems, the same coaching, the same leadership, the same losing formula. It's like pressing repeat on frustration. Fans are tired of hearing about potential, tired of hearing about learning experiences. There's nothing left to learn when you refuse to evolve. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Las Vegas Raiders. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The NFL universe is buzzing with disbelief tonight after an unprecedented rumor began circulating. Patrick Mahomes, the Kansas City Chiefs superstar and two-time MVP, is reportedly closing in on a historic deal with the Las Vegas Raiders. Sources close to the league suggest that discussions are at an advanced stage, with the deal expected to shake the foundation of the NFL landscape. While neither team has officially confirmed anything, the mere suggestion of Mahomes trading the red and gold for silver and black has ignited a frenzy among fans and analysts alike. Speculation began earlier this week when insiders hinted that Mahomes' camp was exploring options beyond Kansas City. Rumors indicate that the Raiders, long in search of a franchise quarterback capable of leading them to the playoffs, have offered a package rumored to include multiple first-round draft picks, star players, and a contract that could eclipse any quarterback deal in history. Social media has erupted with fans dissecting the potential impact. Some envision Las Vegas as the new epicenter of NFL dominance, while others question how the Chiefs could even consider letting go of the face of their franchise. The implications are massive. Analysts are already drawing comparisons to past blockbuster moves, but few can match the magnitude of Mahomes in his prime switching conferences. The Raiders' notoriously volatile quarterback history could suddenly transform into a golden era, while the Chiefs would face the daunting task of rebuilding around a roster built for a generational talent. Rumors also suggest that Patrick Mahomes himself has been quietly intrigued by the prospect of a fresh challenge, a new stadium, and a fan base desperate for championship glory. Insiders caution that while nothing is finalized, the mere possibility has sent shockwaves through NFL offices, betting markets, and fan communities. If true, this would not only redefine the AFC, but potentially alter the balance of power across the league for years to come. For now, the sports world waits with bated breath, rumors swirling faster than ever, as the question on everyone's mind remains. Could the unthinkable actually happen, and Patrick Mahomes soon be leading the Raiders into a new era of football supremacy? That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Las Vegas Raiders, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.